Hi there, Mike Huggins here again, and welcome to another chair yoga. So today we're going to do 25 minutes of seated chair yoga, and followed by about 5 minutes of guided meditation or relaxation. But what I like to do today is to start off with a little bit of breathing, and so let's just jump right into it. And when I say jump right into it, I don't mean like let's just get going. Let's settle in. And let's do that by coming to a comfortable seated position and sitting up as tall as you can without kind of forcing it, but basically trying to lengthening that spine. And my knees are facing forward and my toes are nice and light, and I try to just relax my shoulders just a bit. I do that, I come into my breathing here. I like to start out with a few deep breaths in, hold it for a moment, and then a full exhale out. I'll do that again, full breath in, with a pause at the top, full exhale out. And I'll do that one more time, breathing in, and a full release out. And again, come back to normal breathing. So typically at the beginning of our practice, we do a check-in. And check-in is just simply, how are you feeling in this moment? We acknowledge what we bring to our practice. And by acknowledging what we bring to our practice, hopefully we can deal with it and then release it and go on our way. And we do that all in the present moment. So if we're feeling a little bit stressed, we acknowledge the fact that we're a little bit stressed. And then we can focus on our breathing to try to send awareness or energy to those areas where we're feeling stress. And I thought what we do today is to start out our practice with a simple breathing exercise. It's simple, but it's quite powerful. It looks a little bit awkward, so bear with me here. It's called alternate nostril breathing. And I'll show you, and if you've done this before, certainly jump right in. So we come with our hand out in front. I take my thumb and my fourth finger here, and we just alternate nostrils. So let's get ready. Start with my hand out, place my thumb on the base of my nostril here, breathing in through my left nostril. Take my fourth finger and I switch. I press through my left nostril and exhale through my right nostril. Inhaling through my right nostril, and then I alternate. I bring my thumb on my right nostril, exhaling through my left nostril. Inhale through my left nostril, close it off, exhale through my right nostril. Inhale through my right nostril, close off the right, release the left, exhale through my left nostril. Inhaling through my left nostril, close it off, release the right, exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril, close that off, open the left, exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril, and we'll do a few more on your own. One more on the right side. Breathing in through the right nostril. Closing it off, releasing the left nostril, exhaling through the left nostril. Inhaling through the left nostril. Then release, hands onto your knees, eyes open or closed. settle into that breathing. Notice any change in your breathing after that exercise. Perhaps you find your nasal passages open a little more and you feel like there's more breath coming into your lungs. Just a few more breaths here. So we come into that rhythmic breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then we start to add some mindful movement along with our breath. Next breath in, reach your arms over your head. Exhale your hands to heart center. Release your hands to your knees. Breath in and breath out. We'll do that again. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release your hands to the knees. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, we'll move on from here. Arms up high. Exhale. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Keep that right arm up. Left arm drops down by your side. Inhale, lengthen the top and lower the bottom arm. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen and lower. Exhale. Inhale one more time. Exhale. Lift here. And that top arm is going to reach over. Maybe take your gaze to the right side. Try to release any areas of tension here. You might feel that in your chest area, your ribs, your feet, your fingers. Send relaxation even though you're under tension here. Inhale, both arms up high. Exhale, soften your shoulders. Inhale, reach up and we'll switch side. Left arm up, right arm down. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen, lower that arm. Exhale. Inhale, gain length in both arms. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale to up arm over. Slight turn of your chin. Back to that rhythmic breathing. One more breath in, lengthening the top arm, lowering that lower arm. Exhale. Inhale, both arms up high. Exhale, soften the shoulders. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, hands come to heart center, thumb knuckles onto your sternum. Breath in and breath out. Take a moment to come back to that rhythmic breathing. Do a few more movements of the spine. Once again, arms up high over your head. We'll do a twist here. Exhale that right arm to the opposite knee, left knee. The other arm reaches behind your chair. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Each breath there's an opening. Each exhale there's a slight twist. One more breath here. Inhale, both arms up high. Exhale, soften your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen, and we'll go the opposite way. Left arm to right knee, right arm behind your back, best you can, depending what kind of chair you have. Back to that rhythmic breathing, body movement in line with the breath. Two more breaths here. One more breath. Inhale, arms up high over your head. Exhale, soften your shoulders. Inhale, reach all the way up high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breath in, release your hands down. Come back to that rhythmic breathing. If you're moving too quick for you, just go at your own pace. The key is movement and breath in sync. So really lead with the breath, let the body follow. So if I'm forcing the pace a little bit, don't let me force that. You go on your own. So let's do a little bit of our cervical spine movement here so we can take our neck and slowly turn it to the right side. And we'll come back to center and over to the opposite side. You do that on your own, back to center and over to the right side. Back to center, left side. And notice any difference between the left and right side. And back to center. So now we'll do a little bit of a neck roll. So you can tuck your chin and very slowly we're going to take our neck and roll it, gazing upward. Eyes can be open or closed. Coming down to a 360. If that's all part, something you can do without any pain, we'll go all the way around. Mindful of your breathing here. Trying to keep those shoulders a little relaxed. One more time. I can have a little cracking in my neck here. Come back to center and we'll go the opposite way. Notice the tendency to want to hold your breath here. See if you can breathe while you're moving your neck. One more time. And back to center, gazing forward, full breath in and full breath out. Still check in, make sure we're trying to sit up as tall as you can. I know that might be difficult depending what kind of chair you're sitting in. But we want to keep that length in the spine. That's really what it's all about here. We'll do a few seated cat-cows. We'll start with cow. Inhale. Lift up your chest. Maybe your neck goes up a little bit, but only because your chest is up. Exhale, tuck your chin around your spine. Maybe bring your shoulder blades forward. Inhale, chest comes proud. Gaze up slightly. Exhale, round your spine. Shoulders come forward. You can do a few more on your own. One more time. Inhaling, exhaling, and come back to center. We'll move to a few forward folds here. Breath in, arms reach up high over your head. Exhale, start to come forward. See if you can keep your spine lengthened best you can. Tuck your chin. Exhale, forward, fold. Hands might touch the floor. If not, maybe to touch your shin. Inhale, sort of a semi-lift as you squeeze your shoulder blades together, lengthening your spine, gazing down. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms reach up high over your head. Exhale, forward fold, almost like a swan dive here. Spine comes long. Release your hands to the floor or onto your shins. Inhale, lengthening that spine. Exhale, forward fold. Breath in, arms reach up high over your head. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, lengthen that spine. Exhale, fold. Breath in, reach all the way up. Last one. Exhale, forward, fold. We're going to stay down here for a moment. It might be awkward. So if you can try to tuck your chin. There's no strain in your neck here.
And if you can, see if you can shift the weight to your upper torso so it actually starts to push you down a little bit, almost as if your head's going between your legs. And if you like, you can grab your opposite elbows. That might not be available to all of you, but all we're trying to do is to use the weight of your torso to kind of give you a deeper fold, that's all. Of course, breathing in and out as best you can, as rhythmically as you can. And if you have your elbows, you can release your elbows. Inhale, we're going to lengthen that spine. Exhale, fold. And breath in, arms reach up high over your head. Exhale, hands come to heart center, breathing in. And exhale, your hands onto your knees. Let's come back. Check into the breath. Check into any body sensations you might have. Can you soften any parts of the body that are feeling a little stressed? So we're going to move into a seated eagle pose. Arms come up high over your head. You can move to classic eagle arms, and that's your right arm under your left where your palms come together. Or simply take your right arm underneath to your left shoulder and your left hand onto your right shoulder. So that's one option, okay? If you'd like, and if you've done eagle before, you can take that right knee and cross it over your left. It's kind of awkward, squeezing your knee together. And then very slowly start to come forward. Might be very limited here. If you come forward, maybe you can twist a little bit to that left side. Slowly come up. I'm going to do that again. You can do a second set, but it's awkward here. So if that's too awkward for you, just keep your knees where they are, kind of bent here like this. Breathing in, lengthening, and exhale, start to come forward. And if you like, you can do a little twist here. Inhale, slowly come on up. Exhale. Inhale, release your arms up high. Exhale, once again, hands to heart center. Breathing in. Exhale, hands back down. So we'll do that on the opposite side. Breathing in, arms up high. In this case, my left arm under my right. If you like, that left leg over. Or just keep your knees bent. Either way, I'll keep my knees bent. Start to come forward and twisting over to the right side. All the way back up. We can do a second set here if you want. Cross that leg over. I'm going to do my second set with my knees straight forward, coming forward and twisting. And slowly come all the way up. Breath in and out. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Breathing in and breathing out. So, stay here, breathe a little more, or let's move on. We'll move into a seated airplane. Inhale, arms reaching up high over your head. And exhaling, start to come forward, arms start to come by your side, and as they come by your side, you kind of squeeze your shoulder blades together, lengthening that spine, a slight tuck of your chin, and we just stay here. If you think about maintaining the length of your spine, and you'd like to come forward a little more, you certainly can do that, but the object here is to try to keep length in the spine, as opposed to like rounding the spine. We're not trying to force it to go deeper. We're just trying to gain some length in the spine. So there's a few things you can do here. I always like to keep my fingers spread, just feel like a little more strength here or stability. You can squeeze your shoulder blades together. Gives you a little bit of strength, a little bit of an up dog in your chest area. A slight tuck of your chin so there's no strain on your cervical spine, and we come back to that breath. A couple more breaths here. One more breath in and out. Inhale, slowly rising up. We'll bring the arms long over our head. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen your arms. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Breath in. Exhale, hands down by your side. I always find it amazing. People talk about chair yoga. It's sort of like, oh, it's chair yoga. Chair yoga is tough. I find it challenging physically, but also challenging mentally, just to stay with the practice here. All right, let's move on. So I'm going to try to transition into a warrior position. So breathing in, arms over your head, and exhale, I'm going to turn my one knee forward and the other knee comes back. And that back knee is going to bend, and it might not be accessible to all of you, but I sort of just, with my breath, I sort of start to steer my hips towards the side wall. I can kind of heel toe my foot. You can always put your hand on the chair, but then come back to that breath. Inhale, lengthening here, and exhale. From here, we can open up to Warrior Two. So Warrior Two, my back arm here, the arm to the back wall is going to come forward and my front arm is going to come back. If that makes sense to you here. Lengthening both arms. I can take a peek to that back arm to see if I'm kind of having the same energy level on both arms. I can check in with my shoulders here, breathing there, if there's any tension. Love to hold this pose for about 5 breaths. Just enough time for us to feel that discomfort, but enough time to know that we can breathe right through it. We won't be here for too long. Next breath in, we'll flip that palm and we'll revolve that warrior. Back, top arm, front arm comes up, the back arm goes down. And you may be able to gaze forward, or some of you, if your neck's feeling okay, may be able to take your gaze upward just a bit. And take one more breath in, and we'll come back to that extended side angle. So my front arm is going to come on my knee, and my top arm is going to come up, and going to come forward. Slight tuck of my chin. Probably one of my favorite poses because I just feel like the energy through my fingertips. I feel strength of my arm and my rib cage, and even going back to my back foot there. Embracing the breath. One more breath in and out. Inhale all the way up. This is a little awkward. Kind of bring your knees forward. Exhale. Inhale, lengthening. We're going to go right to the opposite side. Crescent lunge or Warrior One here. So adjust. You don't need to do it in one move. It might take a few moves to get there. And then settle in here. maintaining that length in the spine as best you can. Eyes can be open or closed. One more breath in, and opening up to Warrior Two. A little bit of a struggle for me on this side, and that's kind of normal. I'm going to check my back arm, lengthening both front and the back arm. A few more breaths here, staying with that discomfort, breathing through. Flipping the palm and revolving that warrior. Gaze forward and maybe taking the gaze upward a bit. One more breath here. And exhale back to Warrior Two. Right to extended side angle, just like we did on the other side. Back arm comes forward. Check in with that shoulder blade, and if you'd like to proceed forward, you can do that. Slight tuck of your chin. Breathing with intention. One more breath in, and exhale. Inhale, making our way back to center. It's not always pretty when we come back to center, both arms reaching up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften your shoulders. Inhale, reaching up high. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Once again, breathing in. Exhale, hands come onto your knees. Take a few moments here, reconnect with your breath, and just check in with your shoulders, or check in with your arms, your fingers. So, I'm going to try to come back to that long spine, or the lengthened spine if possible. My left leg is going to be rooted into the floor, and very slowly I'm going to push through my right leg, flexing my heel so the toes are facing upward. I keep pushing that foot away until I feel a nice stretch into my calf, and maybe even into your hamstring. We're all going to be different here, and I'm able to pretty much bend or straighten my leg, but many of us might not be able to do that. In fact, my other leg, I struggle to do that. So don't force your leg to be straight, but lengthen it as best you can without trying to arch your spine or lean back. So it's really sitting up tall, pushing through, and you really start to isolate your calf and your hamstring here. Absolutely fine to stay here. Hips are rooted on your chair, and if you like, you can lift up that leg. Lift it, lift it. It is much harder to do this than it looks. You know, if you can see my leg wobbling all over the place, that's okay. I'll only be here for a couple more breaths. Calming myself down under a little stress here. One more breath in, and lowering that leg down. Coming back to center. Breathing in, letting it all go. I will do the opposite side. So my right foot roots into the floor, very slowly pushing my left leg away, pushing through the heels, toes face upward. Once again, don't feel obligated to lift up that leg, but you're certainly welcome to do that. Focus breathing here. Noticing your hips squarely seated on the chair. Just 2 more breaths here. One more breath in, and out. Inhale, and slowly lower down. Release your foot on the mat. Inhale, and a full exhale. So it's a full release. So we know this tension and stress in our yoga practice, we don't want to hold it in, we release it. And it's a beautiful metaphor for life, right? When we have stress, we don't want to hold that in, we find a release to it. So that's what this is all about, training our minds and our bodies to release stress. Okay, one last pose before we move into our seated meditation. We'll move into a figure four. I'll start with the classic figure four and give you a modification. So, right leg, that right ankle comes over towards the left knee, sort of like I'm sitting and reading a newspaper, and absolutely fine to stay here. I put a little pressure on that right knee perhaps, able to take the opposite hand and around the arch here, just to slowly put a little pressure here gently, and it opens up that right hip socket. That's really what we're trying to isolate here. So while we're doing that, you might be forgetting to breathe, so we're going to immediately come back to our breath. Stay focused. If your mind wanders, it's natural to do that. You gently nudge it back to being present. Just 2 more breaths here. You can slowly come out of the pose. So I just realized I didn't cue the other version up. So we'll do the other side, and I'll cue that first so I don't miss it this time. So we're in seated position, long spine, and we're going to take the opposite leg. In this case, my left leg is going to cross over my right. And it might be just simply something like this. If I can't get my leg all the way up, it's just simply like crossing it over here. And you can put your hand on your knee and just open it up slightly to give you a little bit of opening in that hip. And you could do any variation from all the way being down, coming up, or even going partly open or partly closing your legs, or back to that figure four, recognizing that the left side is going to be different than the right side. Stay here for a few more breaths. I'm going to go back down so I can cue this a little bit. I'm feeling it in my hip socket here. Two more breaths. And then slowly start to come out of the pose, arms reaching up high over your head. Exhaling, inhaling, reaching, lengthening that spine. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathing in. Exhale, hands onto your knees. So we're going to move into a guided meditation just for a couple minutes. So you're welcome to sit up nice and tall. If you're feeling like that's going to be hard without moving or being too distracted, you can come back onto the back of your chair. Just try not to be too much there. You can use it as a little bit of sense of support there. So whatever works for you here. You're welcome to keep your eyes open. If you do, just kind of a subtle gaze. Or you're certainly welcome to close your eyes. And as we do that, I'm going to close my eyes, but as we do that, we can visualize our body sitting in the chair. Perhaps observing ourselves as if we were somebody else looking at us, sitting in front of us. Noticing that our feet are rooted into the floor.
Noticing the subtle movement of our chest as we breathe in and we breathe out. Noticing any body sensations, whether it's an area of discomfort or tightness, or perhaps it's an area that you feel relaxed or feel a little bit of a heaviness. Start to observe your breathing as the body starts to recover on its own. We release control of the breath. So we just simply have awareness of the breath, no need to control. You find that your mind starts to wander, just simply kind of shrug it off and just come back to your breath. And slowly we'll start to come back. We can do that physically by moving our fingers or our toes. You can deepen your breath. And if your eyes are closed, you can open up your eyes. Let's inhale, reach up high. And let's give ourselves a nice little hug here. You can move side to side. Releasing your hands down. One more time, reaching up high. Exhaling your hands to heart center. Let's hold your thumb knuckles there if you'd like. If not, you can place them onto your knees. Take a moment for gratitude for our practice today. Gratitude for showing up, for making the effort to carve out some time for yourself, to come to your chair without judgment, to just be as it is. And if you'd like to join me by bringing your palms together, thumb knuckles onto your forehead as we honor the light, the goodness, the energy, and the warmth in each of us, bringing our hands to heart center, honor each other by saying the word Namaste. Namaste. Thank you for joining the class today. My name is Mike Huggins. You can reach me at mdhadvisor